Now, children, they love stories, they love stories. Who doesn't want to hear story? Even as adults, we want to listen to stories. जो पंचतंत्र है, जो पंचतंत्र की कहानियां with morals and values, he taught those morals and values through stories to those children. How to, कैसे अपनी kingdom का कैसे ख्याल रखना है, अपनी प्रजा का कैसे ख्याल रखना है, how to be a good king. So all these stories, all these things he taught. This is the power of storytelling. This is the power you can use when you want to communicate with your children. If you cannot tell them something through, there are some difficult topics, there are some things which you're not able to convince children, and there when the story comes and help you out.
I'm Jitendra Singh. I welcome you to Read My Story, where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and more. Today, I have with me Miss Priyanka Jacob. She is the proud army wife, a teacher, a passionate storyteller, an avid traveler, and now an entrepreneur. She is the second generation army kid, so she did her schooling at various army schools across India. Her encounters with different people in different states of India has sowed the seed of storytelling in her. She did BA from Isabella Thoborn College, Lucknow, and later on Masters in Sociology from Lucknow University. Subsequently, she also did her Bachelor's in Education from Kanpur University. Simultaneously, she also did a course on storytelling, the Little Readers Nook. She has conducted many storytelling sessions for children in school and otherwise. Being married to an army officer, she has the opportunity to work in various schools pan-India. Starting somewhere on her own has been in her mind for long. So when she found the right partner, she did not think much. They collaborated and started their company, the Kalpvriksh Educational Services, for helping preschoolers in promoting holistic development. She launched an educational box that includes workbooks and skill enhancer for children aged 3 to 6. Today she will be discussing with us about her life journey. So let us hear from her. Welcome Priyanka, the platform is open and now over to you.
Thank you so much. So much, Jitendra. Thank you for calling me here today, and it's real honor to meet you here and to be on your platform, Read My Stories. I really applaud your initiative, and I'm sure that your stories are influencing many people.
Thank you so much. So, if I ask you about your life, how did your past life has affected the person who you wanted to be in your life and what you are?
So my parents gave me a very beautiful life. I have a great set of parents. As you mentioned that I was an army brat, so I kept moving around from place to place. That made me a very adjustable person to the situations, because we're moving every 3 years, 2 years, making new friends, meeting new people, which gave me a lot of cultural awareness, and to absorb that, gave me a lot of patience also to understand the different quality and different traditions of people through which they actually which actually affect their day-to-day life, right? So probably that gave me an edge, that gave me a comfort with everyone around. I think in fact I could make everyone comfortable with me. If somebody was with me, I could make everyone comfortable around me. So that's how my life started in army cantonment. Then finally I got married to an army officer as well. So the journey is still continuing, meeting a lot of people from different background, different culture, and that is also had given me a pinch of traveling also, traveling around the world, so and meeting across the people across the nation.
Right.
Yes.
So if I ask about your childhood, you must be having some thoughts that you want to choose this type of career or that type of career. What were those thoughts?
So as long as I remember, I was always I had a very creative bent of mind. I was always a creative person. If I could not do maths, so I had always dreamt of becoming an artist. My mother also thought that, I was good at drawing and also I can become an artist. I was good
Great.
at craft and all. I had always thought that I'll do something in this field.
Right.
Yeah. And subsequently, I chose all subjects also like that, which gave me this knowledge about the society, about the culture and art and literature.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
So, like you
Yeah.
thought about this type of career initially. Like you wanted to be a teacher, or
Yes.
later you wanted to start your entrepreneurial
Yes.
journey.
Yes, I didn't. When you're young, you don't have that. I didn't have that dream of becoming an entrepreneur, but I knew that I can do something in this. I can do something with this. But how to go about it, how to do things that certain things you don't know. And if you remember that in those times, only very fixed careers were for you to choose. Choose from. Either you can become an engineer, you can become a doctor, or you can become an MBA and or teacher. So becoming entrepreneur was a far-fetched dream. But after it gave me a boost when my son was born. When you become a mother, that gives you lot of power. You become very powerful. You feel that you can conquer any field, anything you want, because when you start doing things for your child, you think that then you realize that the power within you. So
Correct.
when my son was born, I was teaching already. I had taught in various pre-primary schools. I kept teaching, which I enjoyed. In fact, I used to teach children with very creative methods, with very creative way. In those times when the Google and internet was not easily available, when ideas were not easily available. Now, if you type something on Google, you get many ideas how to teach particular subject or how to teach a particular topic. You get various things. But in those times when these things were not very easily available, I used to get so many ideas. But that time I didn't realize that it is in me. I realized that when people started coming telling me, see, you are doing this, why don't you start something of your own? Then also I kept ignoring it.
Right.
I didn't think that it's in me that I can start something of my own. But when, again, as I said, when my son was born, I started. I wanted him to have a reading habit, so I started with storytelling. I learned storytelling, how to do storytelling. I started telling him stories since he was 6 months old. So so that polishing my storytelling skill. So after that, so now when you're a mom of a toddler, you have to engage him, and you have to engage him in a constructive way. So he kept growing, and we had to travel. Jason, most of the time, my husband was not around because he was posted in certain areas. I had to travel alone, mostly by trains. So when I used to travel by train, it used to be a long journey to my home. So what to do when you're traveling with a toddler and you have a long journey? You cannot just give him a mobile and to play with. Or so I decided to make a busy box for him. That busy box was I created small things like with magnets, with something with home sorting, for sorting fine motors, for sorting skills, with the things which were available at home only. And I created
Right.
one box which had so I just got a box. It had about 7-10 activities into it, small activities, which he was busy throughout that journey of about 36 hours. He did not ask for it. He was about, I think he was 3 years old, and he did not ask for anything else. So
Wonderful.
yes, so he was. Then I realized this how this something like this can help children to keep busy, to enhance their skills, and to keep them focused and concentrated, and in such a healthy way, right? So that's how the seed was sown there. That seed was sown in that train journey. But still, it was a far-fetched dream. But slowly, yes, today I think that seed was sown there, and today we are.
Working on this further. So that's great to hear. If I talk about your passion, what are the things you are passionate about?
I'm really passionate about creating ways to teach children. I don't want things to be monotonous for them. I want every day. I wanted when I was teaching, every day I wanted something. Every day I wanted different things to come up with, to different topics, different subjects, and different way of teaching. So I was very passionate about that, and that's what made me create this in my entrepreneurial journey also. I'm very passionate about that every child should have an affordable learning set, which, because what happens is, if we go into the market, there are many things which is available off the shelf, but they address only one particular skill or two particular skill, which are, which is very expensive. So I was as I told you about the story of that box, I was very passionate about this thing, that every child should have something like this, which, which is affordable by parents, which the mothers can do easily, which, this is the thing I'm very passionate about, that I feel that, now with this my company, I feel that, I can provide this kind of education to each and every child in India.
That's great. So that's really wonderful. You are working on this thing. And if I talk about your work and experiences, like how you after your post graduation, how you started your career, what all you did so far, and how you got into this entrepreneurial journey.
So after my post graduation, I did my post graduation sociology, and I started. It was a little detour. I'll take you towards little detour towards my this journey. It started with my father was very passionate about stockbroking, and he wanted to put me into that because he thought that it would be a good source of income for me. I can have a good life with that. I don't have to work for anyone. Again, it was his thought of being you'll be a businesswoman of your own. So I joined a broker to learn those things. But somehow, as I told you in the beginning, my bent of mind was creative. I was maths was never my thing. So I learned those things. I was a hardworking person. I tried to learn. I was good at it, but somehow my heart was not into it. So I left that. I started with the course called NTT, which is nursery teacher training, and then I next thing was that the B.Ed was required to teach in army schools and army pre-primary schools. So I did, which I thought that I should do it because it's a professional course which will give me a depth knowledge about the subject. So I did my B.Ed from Kanpur University, and further then I joined schools in various places. I taught in Jodhpur, I taught in Lucknow, I taught in Amritsar in APPS, and then I taught in Suratgarh, which is in Rajasthan. So most of these schools were for pre-primary only, which I have a good experience of. And now I thought that till last year I thought that I'll continue this journey, but then it took the great next turn.
Great. So that's really wonderful. Now, if I talk about your vision, mission, and goal in life for next 5 to 10 years from now, so what do you think that is?
Yes. So Jitendra, my vision and mission keep changing in the sense when I achieve it. I wanted to. I did B.Ed after a long time. After my NTT, I did B.Ed after a long time because that was my mission, that I had to complete that. To have a formal education about the subject. So that was my mission. So the next was that I had to become. Now I know that I have something in me which can I can fulfill through becoming an entrepreneur. So that mission was and vision was to become an entrepreneur. But now when I have become, next is to become a successful one, a profitable one, and also to involve many other people with us, a good workforce, a workforce of women, talented women from the army. That's what my mission is. And secondly, that which I told you earlier, that to give an affordable, comprehensive learning material to the children across India. So and that would be my goal now after this.
That's really wonderful.
So I was saying in my college, which you mentioned, Isabella Thoborn College in Lucknow, they had the motto which said, "We receive to give." I always believed in that. It was just a motto written there, but I always believed in that. Money part is, yes, it is important, because to survive, to being a successful business, you have to have that financial part to be. You should have sound finances. But I always believe that you are getting what you're getting from the society. You have to give back. So whatever I've received with so many people around me, I want to give back to that. So that's what I believe in. We receive to give.
That's really a good thought. And if I talk about your most important life lessons you have learned from your personal and professional journey so far, so what are those?
If I say say lessons, I believed in Gita. My father always, quoted from Gita since our childhood. He kept, chanting shlok from it whenever something happened. So one thing which is very common also, which many people have heard, but which has struck throughout my life and my personality is karmande vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana. So that is the lesson I always keep in my mind. You should do your work. You should perform your duties, and the rest is up to him to give you. You should not worry for that. And it does not mean that you should just leave it, and you should not. But you should leave it to the God. He will give you back. If you believe in the universe will give you back. So you just don't need to think about anything else. You just follow your path. तुम अपना काम करो, अपना फर्ज, work hard. You should focus on your work, and rest you leave up to the universe. So that is one lesson which I always keep in my heart from Gita is this. And second thing is that respecting each and everyone from doesn't matter where that person comes from, but the words matter a lot in any business, in any profession, in anywhere in the world. If you speak to a person with a good tone, you will get a lot back in return.
That's true.
So I always feel to give respect to each and every person you meet. Try to give that. Try to be nice to people around you, so that that follows you around.
Correct. That is really important, because whatever you give, you receive back. So better to give good things, use right word. That is really wonderful.
In fact, so today I just remembered today I was coming from this cab, and we had this driver. So he was so otherwise how cab drivers are. They first cab we booked, he cancelled our cab, and second driver we booked, we were looking for him, and we thought that this guy will also cancel, because it is taking a lot of time to look for him at the station. But you won't believe, that guy came to us, and he was like, he said, madam, आप अपनी location मुझे send कर दो, मैं आपको follow करके आ जाऊंगा. I sent him my location. He followed us. He took my suitcase, ran through his taxi, and we ran behind him, and he kept it nicely, opened the door for us and everything. Now उसमें उसका क्या गया? कुछ भी नहीं गया. But it gave me so much of pleasure, and that energy kept me, and that energy I will pass it on to someone else. The energy he had passed me on. So, and he told me, तो मैंने उसको बोला कि भैया आपका नेचर बहुत अच्छा है, सब लोगों का ऐसा नहीं होता. So he also told me the same thing. मैडम, मैंने आपसे अच्छे से बात की, आप किसी और से अच्छे से बात करोगे, इसी तरह हमारा इंडिया बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा. Just imagine, he said me.
That's true.
So I was so impressed. Yeah. So yeah, this is the power of smile and being nice to people.
Great. So you've been talking about storytelling, and if I talk onto it further, like how we can use storytelling in our daily life for a better communication.
Yeah. So the storytelling, Jitendra, if you remember Panchatantra was written by Vishnu Sharma, Pandit Vishnu Sharma. So he wrote Panchatantra because he had to teach the king's children, who were very notorious, who were very mischievous, and the king was very troubled. He announced in his kingdom that if somebody can teach my notorious children, I'll give him this much of money, and I can give him maybe a fort or bungalow or palace or something. So Pandit Vishnu Sharma came. He said, I'll come and I'll teach your children. So he said, are you sure? So he said, yeah, I'm very sure of myself. No, you don't worry about it. So next day when he went to teach those children, he said, चलो बच्चों, आज हम थोड़ा बगीचे में चल के घूम के आते हैं. So children, as they were very notorious, they said, हमें पता है आप हमें पढ़ाने आए हो, और हम वैसे ही आपको भी भगा देंगे जैसे हमने बाकी सबको भगाया. So he's like, नहीं, मैं तुम्हें पढ़ाने थोड़ी ना आया. तुमको किसने बोला मैं पढ़ाने आया हूँ? मैं तो तुमको कहानियां सुनाने आया हूँ. कहानी नहीं सुनोगे? The children, they love stories, they love stories. Who doesn't want to hear story? Even as adults, we want to listen to stories.
Right.
So he taught them through stories. जो पंचतंत्र है, जो पंचतंत्र की कहानियां with morals and values, he taught those morals and values through stories to those children. How to कैसे अपनी kingdom का कैसे ख्याल रखना है, अपनी प्रजा का कैसे ख्याल रखना है, how to be a good king. So all these stories, all these things he taught. This is the power of storytelling. This is the power you can use when you want to communicate with your children. If you cannot tell them something through, there are some difficult topics, there are some things which you're not able to convince children, and there when the story comes and help you out. I always believe that I always sat down with my child at night and told him a story about anything which I felt that either he's going through he's going through something, or so I always molded it into the story and told him about it. So this is how the story can help you bond with your children and have a better communication with your children.
Right. That is like one aspect, discussing with kids about any topic or teaching them something. How we can use it in other way is also talking about like teenager kids, or maybe corporate life, or maybe your colleagues.
Yeah. So talking about anti-bullying, talking about sexism, talking about fat shaming. These topics are very relevant these days, which we can. So these things, the load of corporate culture, the pressure that the employee go through. This all things we can communicate to them through stories. So even there, right now I am into storytelling of children, but there are many storytellers these days in India who are doing this, who are doing corporate storytelling, who are doing a teenager storytelling session where they tell them about how to why you should not bully someone, why this is taboo, how you should behave in front of the other sex. This is how many storytellers are doing in India. So it makes the difficult topic very easy to understand. That's what story does. जो truth है उसको बहुत ही अच्छे से रोज पेटल के साथ कवर करके it is presented to the other person. So that is that affects the brain easily.
Correct. That's wonderful. So can you share a few examples so that we can that it can be easy for anybody who is going through our interview, for him or her to understand how storytelling can be used in different situations in a storytelling format, like how we can use it in daily life with few examples.
So I can only talk about the young children, because that's what my forte is, that what I deal in with. So when you in class, when they go through when they are they are not able to gel with their friends, okay, or when they are complaining about each other, there is a comparison. So there you can fit in the story. Or if some child is different, how you will tell that if that child is see, I'll give you example of if you heard the story of Ferdinand. Have you heard the story of Ferdinand? Ferdinand was a bull. So that what is the bull's nature? Bulls like to fight, but this bull was different. This bull wanted to sit under a tree and smell the flower.
Okay.
So he did not gel around with other bulls. The other bulls used to tease him, and his mother was also very worried about him, that his destiny is to fight, but he is not fighting. He is so gentle. What will happen to him? But that finally, in the end of the story, when he's taken to the arena and he is forced to fight, he does not fight. He just goes to the lady who was wearing a pretty rose in her hair, because the rose was smelling so beautiful. So that gentleness of that bull got the applaud of everyone from the arena. So to accept that person, how to accept a person who has who we expect to be different. Like for example, boys, we want boys to be macho. We want boys to play football. We want boys to play we want them to be rough and tough.
Right.
But if I tell a story, if I tell the story of Ferdinand, then you will realize that yes, you don't need to be rough and tough. You can be different. You can be different from the boys don't need to be like this. The men does not to be like men. Men will be men. It's not necessary.
Right.
So these are the topics which we can inculcate through stories in a very tender age only, so that the child he already has that he grow up with that kind of thinking and thoughts.
Correct. That is a easy way to explains situation to kids basically.
Right. Yes.
Great. So coming back to you again, if I talk about you, are you an introvert or an extrovert while meeting people or facing audiences? And what do you think plus or minus of the same would be?
See, when it comes to I've been a teacher and now I'm an entrepreneur. So when it comes, and I also take workshop for teachers who want to do storytelling. So being a storyteller, that time I cannot be introvert. I'm an extrovert. I go all out. I like to express myself so that my audience understands me. My client,
Right.
in terms of my business, they understand me. I cannot be introvert. But when my audience is not there, I like to be in my shell. I like to be, my around my family, friends. I like to listen to them. Like to listen to them more. In fact, more you listen, more you observe. So I like to do so. So
Right.
yeah, so I get into my shell. So I'm like a turtle, maybe. Whenever like I adapt myself accordingly. Yeah.
Great. So, if I talk about the kind of support you got in your journey so far, who were the people supported you the most?
I started with saying that I'm a lucky person that I had such a wonderful family around me who have supported me throughout. Right from my parents, my in-laws, my brother who has been a great supporter. My son, he is 8 years old, but he's such a great support to me. When I'm not around, he takes care of himself. That's how he shows support to me. But the greatest of all is my husband. Why I tell you is that because he found this potential in me. He kept insisting upon it that I have to do something of my own. You are wasting time. You have to take this decision fast. You have so much of potential. Sometimes it used to bother me also that I maybe he's like he's not understanding. Maybe it's not my cup of tea. But he understood it before I understood that I have the capability. So
Right.
my husband has been my biggest supporter. He has been till now also that he it's not only that by saying, it's not only by his words, but by his actions. He has been he is supporting me through his actions whenever I require him. There's no looking back. I know if he's my backbone throughout.
Great.
He's my backbone. Yes.
Great, wonderful. So, how you got your motivation and inspiration in your life? What are the ways?
Jitin, my father is my inspiration. He came from a very humble background. He is, in true sense, he is a self-made man. In very true sense, he left his home to join army, where he joined as he did not join as officer. He came from ranks. So he studied for it. He became an officer when I was 3.5 years old. And life has been throughout adventure for him since his childhood. Actually, the way I have got support here in my family around me, he did not have any support when he was trying to do something. And in fact, sometimes I feel that somebody can make movie on him, on his life, because his life has been so adventurous. Against all odds, he has achieved everything in his life which he was supposed to achieve, and he has given so much to us. So he's been he is my inspiration always. I always look up to him. I like to follow him. So I feel that at his age, what he is right now, I believe I should be like him in terms of health, in terms of person, the way he is right now. So he's been my
Great.
yeah.
That's wonderful. So, if I talk about your take on success, what do you think it is for you?
See, success, I feel, is a sweet spot of a solid finance and a mental comfort. It's a sweet spot of that. Without money also you cannot buy comforts. So, but yes, you have to. Level of achievement, level of comfort is differ from person to person, right? So, for me, I can call myself successful if I have both these things: mental peace, good health, and good finances for my comfortable life. I think I'll call myself a successful person. So that's what
Right.
success is for me. Yeah.
Great. So, moving on to the last question, any message, advice you would like to make to our viewers and listeners?
Yes, I would. In business, what I've learned is, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, is in fact that I give to my partner also and my husband also, that to take decisions quickly. You should not delay back your decision. You should not be lazy about it. You should not, or maybe sometimes we are not lazy about it. But we are contemplating a lot, we're thinking a lot. Don't think too much. If you feel that you're passionate about something, if you're convinced with your own ideas and with your own creativity or your talent, I think you should not think twice. You should go for it, because you should not regret later. So the decision saves lot of time. That time matters a lot in everything. Everything you do. Like right now at 40, we had started this business. That is good thing that at 40 also you can. It's not too late to start anything. That's what I believe in. But if you are thinking about this at 24, start doing that. Yes, you should have. You can take advices from anyone, but if you're convinced about something, don't waste time on too much of contemplation and too much on thinking. So decision making is a very. I want to tell everyone that decision making makes everything go quickly, and that's what requires in the field of business. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Most of the time, I would say decision making should be quick enough
Yes.
to match with the situation and its urgency, because otherwise what happens is in business you may lose opportunities as well. So
Yes.
decision should be wisely taken, but
Yes.
on time it is really important.
Yes, on time. Performing it on time, it's very important, because once the time goes, then you keep waiting for the right time, but right time will never come.
Correct.
It's you only. The right person is you who needs to take the decision.
That's
Yeah.
true. So it was really amazing having you here, and you have shared so many amazing insights.
I
And
hope so.
yes, I really enjoyed the conversation, and looking forward to hear more from you soon again, maybe on same topic or different topic. Or thank you so much, Priyanka, for your time. It was wonderful having you here.
Thank you so much, Jiten. I had also a wonderful time. You made me very comfortable. I'm really happy to conversate with you. I never felt like that. It is like conversating with a colleague or friend. It was a discussion like that. So I really enjoyed. Thank you so much.
And also, I will share your website and social media link along with the interview so that people can be in touch with you, see
Yes.
your products, talk to you, take your help and guidance wherever they feel like.
Yes.
And guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you, and bye bye.